is wild. They're already doing deals. Like they're trying to give you a free tire change. They're trying to give you a free car wash and all types of stuff to get out to these games. This is wild. Look at how empty this arena is. Look at how empty it is. The cheapest ticket, $6.
This is crazy. WNBA playoff tickets are going for as low as $6. Yes, you read that right, just $6. That's not a mistake or some special discount. It's actually cheaper than a burrito at Chipotle, 2 cups of coffee, or even the parking fee outside the arena. For only $6, you can walk into a WNBA playoff game, the stage that's supposed to represent the very best of women's basketball. And the wildest part, these aren't just the highest seats in the arena. You can actually get lower bowl seats for the price of a fast food meal.
WNBA is in a panic right now. The WNBA higher-ups are panicking. They don't know what's going to happen. I already let y'all know. I showed y'all the numbers that they was concerned about the playoff ratings and what they will be for the networks. They're concerned about it already. No Caitlin Clark here to carry everybody. They don't know how these numbers are going to look. Tickets are they're already doing Black Friday sales for playoff tickets. There are teams already doing Black Friday sales for playoff tickets.
The big story here is that Caitlin Clark isn't playing. She's not out there hitting deep threes or making highlight passes, she's just sitting on the bench in sweats. And because of that, the whole basketball scene, especially the WNBA, feels completely turned upside down. So the real question is, who's responsible for this situation? Share your thoughts in the comments.
This back and forth from all the WNBA players that the league is not just Caitlin Clark. Stop acting like the league is not just Caitlin Clark. There are other people who are doing things. So Caitlin Clark has been injured, so she hasn't been playing. Since Caitlin Clark went down, the WNBA ratings have dropped over 55%.
Yikes.
Across the board.
Hey, guess what, guys?
The league is Caitlin Clark.
The league is Caitlin Clark.
This isn't only about cheap tickets. It's a warning about how much the league depends on one player and how shaky things look without her. When Caitlin Clark was healthy, the Indiana Fever were a money machine. Her games weren't just basketball, they were major events. Fans traveled from other states just to see her, and resale tickets easily went for over $1,000. Courtside seats. Try $4,000 or $5,000. She made Indiana basketball's hottest ticket, even more in demand than the Pacers, and packed arenas on the road that had never sold out before. Now, those same tickets are selling for spare change. You could buy a playoff seat with the coins in your car and still have enough left over for a hot dog. A team that once had fans breaking the bank to see Clark is now struggling to get people in the door.
It's understandable in this era to figure that tickets for playoff games are more expensive than the regular season, but Fever tickets for Tuesday night remain very affordable. $12, $13. I don't know what they're going to lie about as far as attendance goes. We're going to get into that momentarily. There are tons of tickets, hundreds of tickets available, if not thousands of tickets still available for tonight's game at a cheap price of a hoagie sandwich and a bag of chips from Wawa.
The drop-off couldn't be more obvious. These are playoff games, the stage that should have the highest demand. Yet courtside seats are selling for just $200. That's the kind of price you'd expect at a high school state championship, not the WNBA postseason. The difference is almost laughable. Not long ago, Indiana was the hottest spot in basketball. Now, it feels like they can't even give the tickets away.
WNBA is in a frenzy right now. The cash cow is not available to play. The golden goose is not available right now. That is Caitlin Clark. So now everyone has to get their numbers on their own. We saw Caitlin Clark bring in a whopping 1.8 million viewers for her first playoff game versus the Connecticut Sun last season. That was more than all of the other playoff games that was played that day combined. More than all of the other playoff games played that day combined.
This, right here, is the Caitlin Clark effect. She's living proof that one player can completely change the direction of a sport. When Clark was on the floor, Indiana's home games averaged over 17,000 fans, constantly breaking records. That's not just impressive, it's game-changing. She even drew bigger crowds than some NBA teams. Opponents had to adjust just to handle the demand. The Washington Mystics left their 4,200-seat gym and moved to a 14,000-seat NBA arena. The Chicago Sky gave up their 10,400-seat home court to face Clark's Fever in the United Center, where more than 20,000 fans showed up. Just think about that, an entire league shifting schedules, switching venues, and cashing in, all because of one player.
Last year, the cheapest ticket available to see the Indiana Fever at the Connecticut Sun in the first round of the 2024 WNBA Playoffs, $133. Let's just say it's not near that expensive this year. It's not. So right there, Indiana Fever just had Caitlin Clark cut a WWE promo.
Then came the crushing blow. On September 4th, Caitlin Clark announced she'd miss the rest of the season with a groin injury. Instantly, the buzz disappeared. It felt like someone shut off the lights on Indiana's season. Their September 16th playoff game, the team's first home postseason game since 2016, should have been a huge celebration. Instead, it became a harsh reminder of how much the franchise relies on just one player.
You can get courtside seats for $200. It is $200 to go sit courtside. Second row courtside behind the basket is $200. 1 to 3 tickets. It is $200 to sit courtside this game. This is in fact the cheapest. It is cheaper to go to this Fever game. This is the cheapest it's been to get into the Fever all year. Why? Why is it the cheapest?
Fans who once lined up just to watch Clark warm up now scroll past $6 playoff tickets like they're useless coupons. What should have been a loud, sold-out arena turned into a half-empty building filled with nothing but what ifs. The message is clear: without Clark, the magic is gone. And it's not just ticket sales that take the hit. Her absence ripples through the whole WNBA. TV ratings, merchandise sales, and media attention all sink without her. Earlier this season, when Clark missed 5 games, viewership didn't just fall, it crashed. The league lost 55% of its audience overnight. Games that normally drew over 1 million viewers suddenly struggled to reach 350,000. That's not a dip, that's a collapse.
The last time the Indiana Fever posted a video of Caitlin Clark talking was almost a month ago. But they know who they need to post when it's time to sell tickets. Damn! Putting CC front and center only when it's time to sell tickets. Oh boy. Oh boy. And we're talking about the tickets, folks. Don't hate the player, hit the game. I'm just a lonely messenger. That's it. Look at these ticket prices. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Look at these ticket prices. $13, $12, $55 for section 100, $27, $147 for section 5, $55 for section 19, $330 for courtside seats.
Even the All-Star Game, the WNBA's biggest showcase of the summer, took a major blow. Clark was supposed to be a captain, the face of the weekend, and the reason people tuned in. Instead, she sat out with injury, and viewership dropped by 36%. It's like buying tickets to a Beyoncé concert, only to find out she cancelled. Sure, the other performers are good, but let's be honest, you're not sticking around. That's what the WNBA feels like without Caitlin Clark, and for Indiana, it's even tougher. Their whole identity is built around her. The offense runs through her. The marketing campaigns feature her. She's the reason ESPN puts Fever games in prime time. Without her, they're trying to sell fans on Kelsey Mitchell's 20 points per game, Aaliyah Boston's steady dominance in the paint, or Lexi Hull's hustle plays. All of them are top players who deserve respect. But the reality is clear, the market is responding with $6 tickets and empty seats.
I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion, but not like this. This news is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA.
This isn't just Indiana's problem, it's a league-wide crisis. For years, the WNBA has been chasing mainstream relevance with rebrands, slogans, and endless "the future is now" campaigns, but none of it stuck until Caitlin Clark showed up. She was their lightning in a bottle, their chance to finally break through. But instead of protecting her, they let her take constant hits, cheap shots, overly physical defense, and poor officiating until her body gave out. Now the results are plain to see. The playoffs, which should be the league's biggest stage, have become an embarrassment. Ticket prices are in the basement. TV ratings are about to tank. A league that finally had momentum is now staring into the abyss. And the worst part? It's self-inflicted. Clark's injury isn't just bad luck, it's the product of neglect. The WNBA had their golden goose, and they treated her like an ordinary player. The cost of that mistake is showing up loud and clear on ticket sites. $6 playoff seats.
Teams already doing Black Friday sales for playoff tickets. There are some teams, the league is afraid that there are some teams' games where you could get into the playoff game for $6. That is how low some of these ratings might be and how low some of these ticket prices might be.
Let's step back for a moment, because this whole situation exposes something the WNBA has never admitted out loud. They need Caitlin Clark more than they've ever needed any player in their history. This isn't like LeBron James leaving Cleveland and the Cavs sinking back into irrelevance. It's even more serious. It shows that the league's entire business model, momentum, and identity are sitting on the shoulders of one 23-year-old point guard who wasn't properly protected until her body finally broke down. The numbers make it clear. In 2024, the WNBA saw growth like never before, and nearly all of it was because of Clark. Attendance rose 48% compared to the year before. A record 54 games sold out, far surpassing anything in league history. Average crowds jumped from just over 6,600 in 2023 to more than 9,000 in 2024. For a league that had spent decades struggling to bring in steady audiences, it was nothing short of a miracle that TV ratings told the same story. Networks set record numbers whenever Clark played. She wasn't just a great player, she was the magnetic force pulling women's basketball into the mainstream.
But Caitlin Clark was first. You know what would have also put asses in seats? Indiana Fever? Clearing Caitlin Clark to play the game of basketball. That would have done it. I promise you. I promise you that would have done it. Again, I believe we deserve to know who ordered the code red. It's a lot different if it is Caitlin Clark and her people believe that, and her medical team believe that she could not play. If it was Stephanie White in the Indiana Fever, I believe that changes everything, as far as I'm concerned.
Here's the problem. When your league's growth depends almost entirely on one player, what happens when that player goes down? The answer is right there in the empty seats and $6 playoff tickets. All that record-breaking growth came with a hidden weakness. The WNBA built its house on one pillar, and the moment that pillar cracked, the whole structure started shaking. Clark's injury couldn't have come at a worse time. This was supposed to be the league's victory lap. Expansion teams were being announced, an 11-year $2.2 billion media rights deal was on the horizon, and sponsors were lining up. Player salaries were being negotiated. For the first time, the WNBA had the kind of momentum to enter the cultural spotlight alongside other pro leagues, and then their brightest star, the player driving nearly 27% of the league's entire economic impact, was sidelined just before the playoffs. It's like a restaurant earning its first Michelin star, fully booked for weeks, only for the head chef to call in sick on opening night. That's the gut punch the league is facing.
It's $9. This is the cheapest it's been to get into an Indiana Fever game all year. This is actually the cheapest it's been. Look, I still think it's going to be nearly a sellout because I'm sorry, if I lived anywhere near Indiana, if it was 10 quid, I'd go to the game. I'd go to the game. I'd absolutely go to the game. I don't care. I'll pay $10. It's cheaper to be in the arena watching the game than it is to sit at home. Probably more expensive than it would cost to go to to pay for one game on Fever Direct, I'd say, if that's a thing.
And the fans, the ones who fueled all that growth, made their feelings clear right away. These weren't casual watchers. They were diehards. They traveled across the country to Indiana, bought jerseys by the truckload, and planned their summers around Clark's games. But once she was officially ruled out of the postseason, they spoke with their wallets. Courtside seats for $200? No thanks. General admission for $6? Maybe, if nothing better was happening that night to end that moment, the foundation of the WNBA's so-called golden era was exposed. It wasn't the league as a whole driving the excitement, it was Clark. This isn't to disrespect the Fever's other stars. Kelsey Mitchell scoring 20 points a game is worthy of recognition. Aaliyah Boston's battles in the paint deserve praise. But the market is unforgiving. Fans connect to superstars, not to the abstract idea of competitive balance. They want to see greatness. And for the last 2 years, Caitlin Clark has been the definition of greatness in women's basketball. Her absence has shown just how shallow the league's wider appeal really is without her.
So, like a lot of people, I started following the WNBA, and I'm sorry, I hate to sound cliche, but it is because of Caitlin Clark. I flew my family to Indy to catch the game opener, and it was just such an amazing thing to see. We fell in love with the city. We, of course, also fell in love with the Pacers, and we followed every game since.
For Indiana, the lesson cuts even deeper. The franchise built everything around Caitlin Clark, as they should have. She was the #1 pick, the centerpiece of their system, not just part of the puzzle but the puzzle itself. Yet they let her push through nagging injuries all season, while she took hard fouls, off-ball hits, and dealt with refs who often looked the other way. Each time she missed games, the drop in attendance and TV ratings was instant. That should have been the warning sign. Instead, they kept pushing her, and now they're paying the price for short-sighted management. The truth is, the WNBA's recent surge, while impressive on the surface, isn't as secure as it looked. When one player's absence leads to 55% drops in TV ratings, 36% declines in All-Star viewership, and playoff tickets selling for $6, that's not sustainable growth. It's fragile, temporary, and it exposes vulnerabilities that no marketing campaign or press release can cover up.
A superstar from top to bottom. You never seen a woman shoot the ball like that or pass the ball like that and has that fire. You downplay it, you diminish it, you try to kill it. You almost killed it, but thank God Caitlin Clark is a strong human being. But the fact that they're trying to replace her with someone subpar talent, subpar in entertainment value is ridiculous, and try to give credit to those who don't really deserve credit and try to have players to be the face who aren't really the face. The one thing about the face of the league, it's not chosen by the league, it's chosen by the fans.
Those empty seats tell the whole story. They show that the WNBA doesn't have enough stars to keep the momentum alive. They show that the league needs Caitlin Clark far more than Caitlin Clark needs the league. Without her, playoff basketball in Indiana isn't an event, it's an afterthought. Fans want greatness, and right now, Clark is the only player who delivers that to the mainstream audience. For 2 seasons, she's been the secret ingredient that made the WNBA feel like a major sports league. Without her, it all goes flat. Those $6 tickets aren't just cheap, they're a warning sign. A signal that the league built its entire future on one superstar and never came up with a backup plan. So the real question isn't whether this is shocking, it clearly is. The question is whether the WNBA and the Fever will actually learn from it. Will they finally protect Clark like the generational talent she is, not just in marketing campaigns, but on the court and in how they manage her health? Or will they keep pushing her body too far, hoping she holds up, while risking it all if she doesn't? Right now, the empty seats at Gainbridge Fieldhouse are already telling the story. And unless something changes, those empty seats could become the lasting symbol of what should have been the WNBA's golden era. Who do you think is responsible for this mess? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss future updates. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.